What's up, everybody? Welcome to my MMA cheat sheet video for UFC 238. A very awesome card this week. It feels like we're getting an extra main event with Ferguson and Cerrone. Uh, Overall, I love the card. I love my picks, and I'm feeling very confident, hoping for a 12 and 1 week or even a 11 and 2, somewhere around there. But hopefully, it's a great week for us. Before we continue with the video, if you guys can hit that like button, that'd be awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos. And let's get started. So I'm going to quickly go through the fights. If you want a more in-depth breakdown, I will be posting a video on my channel, Thundernut DFS. I'll be putting the link in the comments, but I'm going to quickly go through these. And on the left, if they're bolded, that's my pick to win. But let's get started. So first fight is Calderwood versus Chokahagan. I love Calderwood. I think this is very priced wrong, man. Calderwood's actually the underdog. I just don't see it. Calderwood's going to put on more volume, and I think Calderwood's a more dangerous fighter with a higher finish rate of 46% compared to 27. I just don't see how Calderwood loses here, and she's on 8,100, and she does tend to score high on DraftKings. I believe in her past 4 wins, she scored at least 90 points. So 8,100, I love that price, and I will be playing her quite a bit. I like her in cash as well. And then Eddie Wineland versus Popov. If you guys looked at Popov's past opponents, they're like 4-4, like 3-3, like 1-1, and there was one that was like 0-0, and Popov was their first fight. So he's been fighting like basically nobody. So uh, you can see why Wineland's the minus 135 favorite here. He's only 8,200 on DraftKings, so we're getting a lot of line value there. I think this could be priced a little bit wider. And Wineland actually has a decent finish rate with 82%, so I think he can actually finish Popov. And at 8,200, that would just knock the cap off his value. I love Wineland here. GPP and cash. Next is more of a GPP play for me. Bevan Lewis versus Darren Stewart. Questions going around about Lewis's chin because he got knocked out in the third round versus Hall, but he was winning that fight. Lewis is better everywhere, and I don't see Stewart winning besides like a puncher's chance. Stewart's not a bad punt play because Lewis's chin has been questionable, I guess, but I see Lewis winning. I see him putting on the high pace. Maybe even getting a finish here. I wouldn't use him in cash, but GPP is fine play. And then Jan versus Hill. I like Hill as a punt play. She's only plus 135, and Jan's minus 155, and she's 9,100 on DraftKings. So you're not getting much value there, but she does put on a huge pace. 7.04 significant strikes landed per minute, which is pretty insane. And she does have a good defense. I am picking Jan to win. I don't really think it's close. I think it should be lined a little bit wider, but I don't like Hill I like Hill as a punt. 7,100. I think this goes to decision. I think she has a nice floor there. Cater versus Lamas. This is a very close fight for me. It's pretty much a toss-up for me. Lamas, basically, if he gets that takedown, I think he can be successful on the ground. But we don't know if he's going to get that takedown or not. Cater does have a 75% takedown defense, so I'm not too confident that Lamas can get that takedown because Lamas only has a 32% takedown accuracy. So if this is a standing fight, Cater's going to win no problem. So that's why I'm picking him. I just see if Lamas does take him down, Cater getting up. I do like Lamas as a dog play. I'm probably going to stay away from Cater. I don't see a finish. His inside the distance line for Cater is only plus 251. So nothing really stands out to me there. 8,800. I'd rather just stay away from him or stay away from this fight altogether. Carolina versus Grasso. I got Carolina winning. I think she should be a higher favorite. I don't really like this play as a DraftKings play. Although she does put on a decent pace, 5.52 strikes per minute, but I just don't see a finish here. In 8,400, I'd rather pay up the extra 200 for Ferguson, or even maybe I'd probably play Sterling over Carolina, honestly. I just don't see a finish happening. I don't see any takedowns happening. It's just not a fight you want to target on DraftKings. And then next, Munoz versus Sterling. Uh, Munoz is my dog play. My favorite dog play at 7,700. He's just an animal, and I think he's going to come out, really pressure Sterling. He has a 72% finish rate, and if he does get this on the ground, it's going to be interesting because both of these guys are very good on the ground, and both have never been submitted, but I do think Munoz is better on the ground. We're going to have to see. I do like that value at 7,700. It's crazy. Munoz actually has a better inside the distance line than Sterling, so Munoz is a slight underdog, plus 105. So I can see the line shifting more in Munoz's favor as the week goes on, and I do like him as my favorite dog play. Sterling, I'm probably going to stay away from, honestly. I don't see a finish happening, and I think it's just going to be a very boring fight if he does win. Next is Suarez versus uh, Inosarov. Suarez is my number one play. She's 9,500. She's an absolute monster on DraftKings. If you haven't checked her recent fights, go do that because everything's over like 110. She's had 4 fights. She she averages 7.5 takedowns per fight, which is absolutely insane. So she's gonna get takedowns, and I think she can get a finish. She has the best inside the distance line on the card, minus 151. So that's the best by far. I think you have to have her in cash, and then GPP is not a bad play either. I have a lot of her. And then Tuvasa versus Ivanov. My bad, Ivanov. Um, Tuvasa, he has that power, but Ivanov has never been KO'd, so it's a tough fight to call. Tuvasa has been known to have cardio issues, come out swinging, gas out, and Ivanov would obviously take advantage of that. I do like Ivanov as a dog play, but uh, Tuvasa isn't a bad GPP play because he could knock Ivanov out. But like I said, Ivanov has not been knocked out in his whole career, so I wouldn't play this fight in cash, but GPP Tuvasa is not a bad play. And then Yan Rivera, I really like Yan in this fight. He seems like he's better everywhere. He has a higher pace, um, higher defense, more takedowns, better on the ground, better everywhere. I don't see how Rivera wins. Rivera's not much of a knockout guy. He only has a 27% finish rate. I like Yan in cash GPP. I think it's a very, very safe play. Next is Cerrone versus Ferguson. Cerrone's been very, very hot. And if he fights like he did last fight, I do think he has a really, really, really good chance of winning. But I am leaning Ferguson here due to the fact that he's just going to pressure Cerrone. And Cerrone isn't the best against pressure. He's better at range. So Ferguson's going to be coming at him the whole time. I see him getting a knockout. Ferguson has an 80% finish rate. He lands 5.51 significant strikes per minute, which is better than Cerrone. And I see Ferguson getting a first round or second round knockout. Next is Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Eye. I'm probably just going to stay away from this fight. 9,600 is a little too expensive for me. I'd rather have Suarez. The inside the distance line is plus 128. So I'd rather get Suarez at minus 151 inside the distance. And then Cejudo versus Moraes. I am picking Cejudo due to the fact that he does put on a little bit more pace. He has 43% accuracy in his strikes. Moraes only has 34%. Cejudo has a slightly better defense at 67%. And the main reason I'm picking Cejudo is his wrestling. 2.3 takedowns per fight. His accuracy is 35%. But Moraes' takedown defense is 60%, and he hasn't really fought any wrestlers. So this is going to be like um, the first really good wrestler he's going to face that's actually going to try to wrestle him. So it's going to be very interesting. I do like Cejudo to win in cash. You could stack it, but I do like Cejudo to win here. All right, let's go to my targets. Core plays Suarez, Ferguson, Wineland, Cejudo. I'm just very confident in all these guys, especially the first three. Cejudo is more of a value play. Moraes could very well win, but I do slightly favor Cejudo. And at 7,900, I would rather play Cejudo for sure. Calderwood, Jan, Lewis, Tuvesa for my GPP plays. Calderwood, I feel like she's going to win. 8,100, I think she can get 90 points. Jan, I feel like is probably the safest play on the slate behind the two really high favorites, Suarez and Shevchenko. And then Lewis, a very nice GPP play because he could get that knockout. Along with Tuvesa, I think he could get that knockout as well. I wouldn't play these in cash. Calderwood, I'm comfortable playing in cash, honestly. And Jan I would, but not Lewis and Tuvesa. Live Dogs, Pedro Munoz, Ivanov, and Lamas. All these guys have a great chance of winning. They're slightly underdogs. So I will have exposure to some of them. My favorite is Munoz, though, but the other two can win as well. And then my fades, I only have two, in Sarov, and then they're not going to do nothing. Low floor, low ceiling plays. I'm not really interested. And then my punt, Angela Hill, 7,100, and then Darren Stewart, 7,200. Angela Hill, I think, has a nice floor. She could even win the fight, so I do like Hill's my favorite punt, and then Stewart has a knockout chance at 7,200. If he doesn't get that knockout, it's gonna be really good. So, and here's my cash lineup as an example: Suarez, Ferguson, Wineland, Cejudo, Calderwood, Munoz. I'm just really comfortable with this line and everybody to win. Munoz is a little shaky; could go either way, honestly, but I do have faith in him. So I do like that line and in cash, and that might even be a good GPP lineup for you guys too. So. If you guys have any questions, you can message me, nut_DFS on Twitter. I'll get back to you guys right away. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and let's kill this, guys.